Welcome everyone to Awesome Truth, a wrestling book club. I'm your host, Steve Semino, and with me as always is my co-host, Walt Schwenk. Hey, Walters.
Hello, Steven. How's it going?
My friend, it is going very well. Welcome back, everyone. At the time of this recording, this is an interesting time to be talking about wrestling, to exist in the wrestling landscape. If you've been following the wrestling news lately, you're surely very aware of that. But of course, Walt, we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to let that sort itself out for the time being because it's Royal Rumble season.
Yeah, let's let Twitter figure out what the hell's going on before we...
It seemed like we might have more to talk about a few days ago, and now it seems like we don't have anything to talk about, so we're gonna... Whatever, that's not for today.
So instead, let's just travel back in time 8 years to Royal Rumble 2015 and talk about that. Very interesting Royal Rumble, which we will talk about as we watch it, and you'll hear it throughout, so...
Yes, let's get started right now. So what's the timestamp to get this started? If you have Peacock, pull up the Royal Rumbles, pull up the 2015 one, and what's the number?
Let's just do around 134.50.
Yes, you will miss Miz and R-Truth coming out. Awesome Truth, Walt, the namesake of our podcast. Yeah. But that's okay. It's not the Awesome Truth theme. It's just each of their themes. So I'm sure you've seen those men come out 800 million times before. So
yeah, unfortunately, Dailymotion didn't feel the need to include it with...
Yes, if you're on Dailymotion watching this, you can just hit play right away. It'll be all set for you.
Yeah.
But we're going to start right at 134.50, and we're going to go from there. So if you're ready, Walt, I'm ready. If you're listening, hopefully you're ready as well. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, there's the Miz. So, Walt, the 2015 Rumble, we don't need to... This is the stupidest part of the match. We were at this event, Walt. We saw this live, sadly.
Well, the We Want Mizdow should give you a sense as to when the hell this was.
That's right. That's right. One of the matches before this was the Mizdow tag versus the Usos. Is that right?
Was it? I
think
don't
it was for the
remember.
belts against the... Let me pull up. I have the card pulled up too. Yes, the Usos beat Mizdow and the Miz.
Oh, okay.
This was 8 years ago, back when we did not like the Usos, and now in 2013, everyone loves the Usos. So that's been a fascinating shift in the last 8 years.
Also, nobody really liked Miz or Truth at this point, despite their Awesome Truth tandem a few years back. So
and now I would say they're both, Truth is pretty much gone, minus some comedy bits. And I think people appreciate Miz a lot more these days, right?
His career is just a giant roller coaster. It's like he's either like stale as shit or like getting something over.
Yeah.
Again, despite the worst creative.
Remember when he feuded with Shane McMahon? How weird was that? That feels like it was 1,000 years ago.
I don't remember that at all.
Didn't they have a Mania feud? Were they a tag team for a second? And then I feel like they had a Mania match even? Is that wrong?
Isn't that AJ? No.
I don't know. Anyway, this is...
you're right.
This is in Philadelphia. Right. I am right. I thought I was. I'm amazed I got one over on you. So this is in Philadelphia, and the number 3 entrant, of course, is Bubba Ray Dudley, which was probably the best part of the match, if I remember correctly.
Well, until he confuses R-Truth with his actual tag team partner.
There is a spot coming up where he finds the closest black guy and they do 3D together. That's terrible. But this is a big deal because this is when Bully Ray was actually became a single star in ROH, I believe. And so him coming back was I believe a big shock.
Was this off the heels of an ROH run or a TNA run?
Maybe TNA. It was, you might be right. He might have been I guess I was gonna say the Indies, but those aren't really the Indies. Those are just the lesser nationals. But you're right. It might have been TNA at that point. But he was sort of he's still fat, so it's not like he's. I know there was a thin Bully Ray period. This is more of the chunky Bully Ray, I would imagine. Or who knows exactly when this fits into the timeline, but it was cool to see Bubba. I remember we all got it was a very good call to have him come back in Philly. For obvious reasons.
I mean, one of the few ECW people that are actually still working.
And weren't just like nostalgia. Like if Dreamer had come back, it'd be like, all right, I've seen Tommy Dreamer wrestle in LA at a Lucha Underground show, and he's a chunky old man now. It's like Bubba was always this size, so it doesn't. It felt like an actual this guy's an active wrestler who's here to do active wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Thank God they didn't drag like the corpse of Sabu or someone.
Yeah, my God. New Jack. If only New Jack had returned.
Yeah. Just say New Jack was alive at 2015, right? He died.
I think he was alive at that point, but he was probably in no shape to be at a Royal Rumble. Imagine New Jack at the Royal Rumble in the first place.
Oh, God.
Here comes the 3D spot. So as we said, Walt, this was in Philadelphia. This was the Rumble we went to. We had some amazing deal. For context, we paid like $150 for box seats with all you can eat and all you can drink, and it was, for the $150 for a box seat at the Rumble alone is not a bad deal. But I don't know how we hooked up into that, but we had like 20 friends there, 15 friends. Like it was quite a scene.
Yeah, I remember like the next year we're like, oh yeah, the Royal Rumble's in like Brooklyn or somewhere else, and we're like, can we get that deal? They're like, no, it's gonna be $1,000 a head, you idiot.
Yeah, we called them up and said, we'll take your finest free box seats, please. And they said, oh no, those don't exist. Like, what are you talking about?
Right, yeah, yeah. We would love to.
Oh, look who it is! R.I.P. It's Luke Harper. Man.
What such a missed opportunity.
I know. Even back then, we thought it was a missed opportunity to waste Luke Harper. Even though he had the occasional moment in WWE, but man, like what a talent, what a great dude. Everything you hear about him, just a wonderful human being. And I didn't even think like I was gonna respond so much to seeing him, but it is really sad.
Yeah, super sad.
What a great dude it sounds like. But here he is back in a horrible Royal Rumble, and that's the context we should provide here too. You all may not remember this from the name alone. The title of the episode, I believe, will clue you in a little bit. But this is basically the one where a certain wrestler who was widely, I don't want to say disliked, but contentious maybe is a better word at that point, and the crowd loses their mind at him.
Yeah. Why they thought that was a good idea.
They got the Bubba thing right, bring Bubba back. Like they clearly understood a Philly crowd is very similar to a Chicago crowd and a New York crowd. A lot of smarks, a lot of assholes, a lot of chants. Like everybody thinks they know what they're talking about. So to go the way they go with this match in front of this crowd is still an incredibly perplexing decision.
A quick Harper question here. He came out to a non-Wyatt family music. Was this during his like non-Wyatt family run?
I can't.
Pre-Bludgeon Brothers run.
The Bludgies. You remember that? Oh well. Speak of the devil. Is this Rowan? Oh, it's Bray. Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't have the sound on. Well, it looks like they're not. I imagine they're gonna fight here. So this must have been when the Wyatts broke up. But he was still, but he was not Bludgies. He still looks like he's in the Wyatt family. But
I don't think Harper was ever like anti-Bray. I think he was just on his own. But whereas like I think Rowan was like technically like a.
Well, Rowan had a bird at one point. Do you remember that?
I thought it was a tarantula.
Oh, was it tarantula? I thought it was, but it turned out to be stuffed or something, right? It wasn't even alive.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, look, they're helping each other out. So I guess
there we go. This is one of those weird periods, 2015. Like the mid 2010s really run together for me. Like I find it hard, and I was watching somewhat consistently at that point. Like I was probably definitely watching pay-per-views. I was at least keeping very close track of everything, even if I wasn't watching Raw, because God knows no one should ever watch Raw. But I was paying attention a lot, and I still don't remember who was doing what, when, and where. Like it's very hard for me to place all that.
Yeah, it does run together because I'm like. It's funny though because like a year before, like it's Roman Batista in the Royal Rumble and people were cheering for Roman, and then like the next year it's like the exact opposite reaction, but then since 2015 it's kind of just been that until like COVID when they turned Roman. Yeah.
So this is so 2014 was the year when everyone cheered Roman, and Roman did really well in the Rumble.
And they gave it to Batista, and they booed Batista.
Because it was Batista oh God, it's Curtis Axel.
Wow, Curtis Axel.
I knew you were going to... Is that Heyman saying Curtis Axel?
Because he became his manager at one point.
Oh, this is the famous thing where everyone says Curtis Axel was never eliminated, right?
Yeah.
So everyone says Curtis Axel really won this Royal Rumble.
Well, when you say everyone, it was really just Curtis Axel's gimmick.
That's right. I thought that was an internet thing, but that was like Curtis Axel's gimmick for a second.
Oh, boy. I can't. I truly cannot remember what happens here.
Well, oh.
Oh, I think they attack.
Well, maybe this
Rowan,
is the
right?
Bludgies. Maybe this is where the Bludgies came from.
Yeah.
So Rowan was a good guy at this point.
Yeah, because remember they
Oh
had that
no,
Survivor
but then
Series?
Harper lied, and now what's going
Yeah.
on? I don't know I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, at this point, just out of context, this is the first time I'm watching this back since being there live.
Yes, me too. I've never even,
what I
considered
now
watching
call
this garbage rummy. Yeah.
what I now call is my wine bath because I think I had way too many Merlots that evening.
Yeah, well, your drink of choice at that Rumble was a nice red, and I think perhaps, like you said, too much red.
The cheapest red
Yeah.
times 1,000.
It may have been from a box, or at least a giant novelty-sized bottle. One of the two, for sure.
Yeah. Also, worth noting in the box, this like prestigious box that we keep touting, the all-you-can-eat portion of it was what we called just a mash of just like chopped up like low-grade ribeye.
Yes.
And like bread.
And
like,
I think
it.
maybe some chicken fingers at a certain point, but I mean, not like good ones.
Right. So at this point, this is like I'm like watching this for the first time. Effectively, is what I'm trying to say.
That's the boogeyman. I guess this was another one of the big returns, right?
I mean, big is quite the. I mean, Boogeyman was fine.
I've never seen the boogeyman wrestle until I've never that was during the period before you and I lived together, which sort of got me back into wrestling. I've never I was only vaguely aware the boogeyman even existed.
Yeah, I don't know what his special is. I don't know what his
He looks good. He's jacked.
Oh yeah, like great look. Was he an ECW guy? I feel like he was like an ECW.
So because wasn't that whole thing where there was it was ECW, but also there were like zombies and vampires and stuff. That was because it was on sci-fi, I guess.
He was the only one that stuck because he ate like shoot worms.
And he said, "I'm the boogeyman."
I think. I don't know. That's what Pritchard said at one point, I think.
Well, he looks good. That makeup must take that must take 1,000 years to put on his face.
Yeah.
Jesus, full head makeup? God.
Ear makeup too. Look at that.
That is so much work. That just does not seem worth it at all.
I feel like they do this recently where like every Rumble kind of has like a big bad, and Bray is kind of acting in that role right now.
Yeah, and you mean like the guy who's around for a really long time?
Well, like a dominant guy who's just like they were doing that recently. Like they did it with Brock, they did it with Braun a few years back. Like
yeah, that does sort of seem like we don't really have a ton of ideas move, which it was great for Brock because seeing Brock in the Rumble was an actual thing we're not familiar with and used to. So it was like, whoa, Brock's in the Rumble, and it made sense as character-wise that Brock would not go out easy and would be really tough. But Bray was on the show every week at this point. Like it's not that it's just not. I feel like it's not the same meaning when it's just like Bray's a relatively normal sized guy. Like I know he was a big heel, but it's certainly he doesn't. I don't think he deserves the guy who's around for 45 minutes spot.
I'm gonna talk about Sin Cara in a second. To me though, it's like the fact that he's like the quote unquote big bad in this one. It's like, oh wow, like they actually had a lot of respect for him back then. He was very over.
Yeah, that's true. He was really over. I mean, we did think the sky was the limit for him, so I'll give you that. But I just mean, if that's and we'll see, like you said, I don't remember all the details. If that's the early story of the match, I'm just not sure. Like, his partners are already eliminated. Like, I'm just not sure how that's going to go as the story. I do remember a spot with Bray coming shortly with Bryan that is certainly a contentious one, again, to say the least.
I remember very little, but that I do remember.
Well, here's your boy Sin Cara. You love Sin Cara, right?
Well, Mystico, I think, is his ring name now.
Is this real Sin Cara or fake Sin Cara? What do we think?
I think it's fake because of the tattoo on the shoulder. I think
what's his face? It was one of the other guys, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was like the fake Sin Cara, I think. But I recently saw Sin Cara at the CMLL Anniversario show.
Yes, you were in Mexico and you saw some Lucha Libre down there.
Yeah, he got booed out of the building.
Even though he wasn't he like the biggest star in Mexico for a second before they brought him in?
Until he came to WWE and was like a hack.
And he botched a few moves.
broke a few limbs, botched a few moves.
I remember that was another thing that I read about after the fact. The Sin Cara was this big deal, and he came in and messed up once or twice, and there was just it. Like, his confidence was shattered. Like you said, his bones were shattered, and that was it for Sin Cara.
He's still a big deal down there. Just like, I think people still are like, oh, you're the turncoat. Like, you've left us.
Is he a heel now, at least? Is it like part of the character?
No, he's playing the same damn role.
Oh, it's Matt Cardona.
Yeah, hardcore champion.
Is this what Ryder era do we think this is? Is this generic friend of Cena Ryder? Is this IC title Ryder? Like what do you think we're looking at?
What's the difference between those two?
There was a second there where it seemed like they were going to do something with Ryder, and then they would abandon ship immediately.
You just described every moment in his career.
I can't tell if he is like he gets so much credit for making YouTube videos when no one was doing that. But does anybody actually is he actually have a mind for wrestling? Is he actually good at wrestling? Like, I've never given a shit about him whatsoever.
Yeah, regrettably, I've never seen a GCW show live, but maybe.
It seems like he's I guess he's doing like a heel character in 2023 now, right? Like he's like playing into I'm WWE guy. I want to go back there. I'm a bigwig. But everyone at the indie shows boos him because that's not their MO.
That's going to make him a really big heel in a few weeks, potentially.
All right, well, this does seem to be, as you noted, the Bray match, or at least the Bray part of the match, where Bray just tosses guys.
Yeah, and maybe Big Bad is not the right term, but this is reminiscent of Stone Cold and CM Punk from previous Rumbles, where they grab the mic and they're just it's like child's play.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I like Bray. Oh, here we go. At this point, if I remember, Bryan was incredibly over, and crowd's going nuts, and everyone really wanted him to win this match, or at least be incredibly competitive in this match. Look at this, the biggest pop of the night, probably.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he won't get eliminated in a minute or two.
I think he lasts longer than a minute, right?
Does he? Do you think he makes it to the next guy?
I think this starts to fill the ring, and then eventually he gets eliminated, without warning.
There's no fanfare for sure. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember he's on the ropes, and Bray runs into the ropes, and he flies off. If I remember.
That's what I recall as well. I recall more people being in the ring, though.
All right, well that'd be good. I mean, it would be. It's stupid if there wasn't. He's great. He's just for work's sake. Get him in there and let him do some moves and kill some time.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Zack Ryder here.
Yeah, it's not.
Or Boogeyman's.
I would never pay Daniel Bryan the insult of calling him Zack Ryder. So.
Right.
Look at him go, man. I like his look now a lot more. The short hair and he just looks great. I know he's trying to be a pro wrestler now. That's sort of his. If he even has a gimmick, and he doesn't really need to have a gimmick at this point. But if he has one, it's. I just beat the shit out of you, and here he was certainly playing as a character, which was great for WWE. But I do enjoy 2013 Bryan Danielson a lot.
2013?
Sorry, no, sorry, 2023. Yeah, 2013. I probably enjoyed him a lot then too. That was probably when he was world champ or whatever. So.
Sorry, this is me. This is the part of the live stream where I answer work slacks real quick.
Yeah, that's okay. You're not. Let's see what you're gonna miss out on, Walt.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, this is the best time to answer slacks. You can take 2 minutes off. Who is the girl?
I'm gonna go take a shit. No, I'm just kidding. But not really.
Who is that woman?
That was
That wasn't.
Rosa Mendez, right?
No, Rosa Mendez doesn't look like that.
That's what it just said.
Did it say Rosa Mendez?
That's what I'm listening to. I have the CC on.
Oh, I thought Rosa Mendez. Maybe I missed. No, maybe I think of Eve. Wasn't he? What was Eve's name? Eve Torres. Okay, that must be Rosa Mendez. Yeah, sorry, I was confusing.
Torres is definitely not.
Eve Torres and Rosa Mendez are not. I know they're not the same person, but that name, the names threw me. Yeah, I guess that is Rosa Mendez. Well, cool. Look at Fandango go. Remember when he beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Remember we were at that WrestleMania?
I guess we were at that one, weren't we?
Yeah.
Wasn't that touted as Jericho's highest payday in Mania history?
I think he said that on one of the books, which we probably covered on this show. That the payday helped eat. I think he got pissed at Vince, and then the payday increased exponentially as a result of it. So.
Yeah.
Well, while we're watching Daniel Bryan spin around Fandango, let's talk about this card. It was a horrible card. The opening match, not counting the pre-show, which is pretty good. It was the New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, and they got 11 minutes. That sounds fun. I think we all enjoyed that. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd were a great tag team. Then the opening match was the Ascension versus the New Age Outlaws, which is honestly the worst match I could probably. Tyson Kidd's coming in. The Ascension versus the Outlaws is like a hellish match to me. That is a tag team I truly cannot give a shit about versus two 50-year-old men. And I don't know what the purpose of that was. They got 5 minutes. It's about 4 minutes too long. Like, what a horrific way to kick off a show. Like,
I think the Ascension is like one of the first acts, NXT acts that like just got completely butchered.
I mean, I was certainly not watching NXT back then. I have no idea how the Ascension ever got over. They are so boring. They're just lazy demolition road warriors. Like, they're just. Every time I saw them, I was like, I hate these two very much. Unfortunately, they're gone now forever. So.
Yeah, who the hell knows who they are? Also, like, let's timestamp this with not timestamp like where we are in the video, but timestamp this the fact that Tyson Kidd is wrestling.
Yeah, he looks great. Love Tyson Kidd.
This is I think pre-Cesaro.
No, him and Cesaro were on the pre-show.
Oh, they were on the.
They were, yeah. So they are. I think they were new. I think they were a very new tag team at this point.
Okay, because his tights say something about fat cats or.
Yeah, I think they did. I think he didn't. I don't remember what Tim Cesaro's like tag team slogans were or whatever.
They're just kidding Cesaro.
Well, he did not. I think he hasn't had time to update his tights yet.
One of Cesaro's like 20.
It's Cody.
All right.
Well, talk about timestamping it. It's Stardust.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I immediately revised my previous statement.
All right, Cody's
Stardust
in the ring.
debut.
That's exciting. So the first 4 matches on this card, if you count the pre-show, were tag matches. It was Cesaro, Kidd versus the New Day. It was Ascension, New Age Outlaws. It was Usos versus Mizdow and Miz, and it was the Bellas versus Paige and Natalya. Like literally, can you imagine a more boring set of tag team matches?
Wow, another like just like. I guess I don't want to say cultural timestamp. There's a better word for it. I keep saying timestamp. It's not timestamp.
I know what you mean. I think, I don't know what the word is off the top of my head, but
just time marker, I guess. But like ultimately, what I'm trying to say is there's no women's Royal Rumble in this.
No, there sure isn't. There's one horrible tag match. The Bellas are in it.
The beautiful Bella Baby Breeze. Yeah. Sorry, that's a throwback to the Daniel Bryan book, episode 103.
Episode 3. 2, maybe? 103. Oh, there goes Tyson Kidd.
Oh, well, hell.
Yep. But yeah, the other match on the card, fortunately, that saved the show and made it somewhat bearable to pay, even though we had a great time just being there drinking crappy wine. But there was the triple threat match for the title, which was one of the best triple threat matches, maybe not ever, but certainly a very, very well done version of the knock a guy out for 20 minutes and have a singles match, and then the guy comes back in and cleans house, and you scramble to a crazy finish, which was Lesnar, Seth, and Cena. And that was really, really well done from what I remember.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Because they like bury Brock in the beginning, right? Don't they just like literally throw him under some stuff? Oh, it's DDP!
Wow.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, I don't remember this. Walking billboard DDP with his yoga.
I think he looks pretty good. I mean, he still looks. He's a little more. He walks like Kramer now in the too tight jeans on Seinfeld. So
sure,
but still, he's also like 65 years old. So
I don't know if you know this, but DDP yoga saves lives. So
I think we may have addressed that on a previous episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, that triple threat match was really good. I remember that being excellent.
I haven't seen it
in forever, but
I recall a huge elbow drop from Seth on the table at some point.
That's what knocked Brock out, right? That was the yeah.
It's weird how those elbow drops like reactivate as a diverticulitis or something. Because they used to do that for a while, where it's like kayfabe, he has like stomach issues, so gut punches hurt him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, he almost died from this.
Yeah, and like not everyone is all. It's not like that was like national news that everybody was aware of. It's like I guess they say it enough, it was true. But yeah, that was like the King Hippo in Punch Out. You punch him in the stomach and it's his weak spot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but it makes sense too if you know that. But like
DDP doing a top rope diamond cutter. Wow.
Yeah, he got his shit in.
Yep. And I think this is probably the end for him. God, I don't know how guys wrestle in jeans too. Like, I mean, I don't know if they're working jeans. Like, it's like sometimes like I remember Ambrose used to have jeans that looked like they were comfy pants, but just were styled like denim, or something like that.
Or like Orange Cassidy's like sweatpant jeans.
Yeah. But DDP looks like he's wearing literal jeans. I don't think those are special jeans. They look like regular pants you'd buy at the store.
Alexander Rusev.
Oh, wow. Is this first name status?
No, it's just Rusev.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to say that because I'm stupid.
U.S. champ, apparently.
Wow. Back when he was over.
God, he is a oaf there, too. Jesus. He's so much more trim now.
Yeah, he looks great now. I just wish I'd seen him on TV.
Yeah, it's weird that he's not around anymore. You think he'd be around all the time, but
yeah,
maybe he'll go back. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Again, we shouldn't. How can you possibly speculate about who's going to go where these days, given all the uncertainty? But
yeah, it's going to be outdated in a day.
Yeah, but he always back then he seemed on the cusp. 2 years ago he seemed on the cusp. Like he's just. For whatever reason, he's never been able to get a real run.
If you recall, too, in our wine box, I think there was about 15 deep of us dressed in these hammer sickle shirts, going nuts at this point.
One of us bought, we all just bought our own Russia USSR shirts, right?
Yeah.
Because we wanted to cheer. Because I think we all just wanted someone to make a big show about cheering for.
And it was easy enough to get it on Amazon.
Yeah, we could pay like $7 for it instead of like $25 for a real WWE shop shirt of somebody.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Is this it?
Possibly.
Does Rusev do it? No, it's Bray.
Yeah, it's Bray.
Oh. You can see the crowd reacts.
Yeah, at this point, it's like we're really counting on we're really doing a quick audit of the roster. It's like there's Roman, there's Kane, there's Big Show. Oh boy.
There's Ambrose, right?
Probably.
I think Ambrose gets a run. I think Ambrose and Roman get a little helping each other run.
At that point, we're looking down the line, and it's like, it's either Ambrose or bust.
Well, there's also another guy. I don't know when he comes out, but I'll wait till. Oh, it's Goldust. Was this a big deal? Was Goldust back? I guess he was probably back because Stardust is there. So.
Yeah. Was Stardust a heel here?
I don't remember. I guess we'll see how him and Dustin interact.
Is Stardust still in it?
Yeah, he's on. I think he's on the bottom rope.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he got eliminated by. Oh, there he is still. Okay.
Yeah, he's chilling. Yeah, there's. Well, I would just say there's. I remember Ziggler came out to a pretty big pop as well. I think there was.
Right.
I think there was a little. I don't want to. I don't know if this was. Around when he was still getting a chance or what his status was, but I remember at least the smarky crowd I think was like, well, maybe. Oh yeah, I guess this could have been where Stardust turns on him too.
Yeah,
this could have been the build to the Mania. They might have had the Ass Lane match next month. That was a huge bomb.
The extremely forgettable one.
Yeah, the one that ruined everything and should have been a Mania match, and everyone was like, well. Was it bad because it was on Ass Lane, or would it have been bad regardless? And no one could ever really. That was a big chicken and the egg wrestling question. I feel like did they half-ass it because of their being on the February pay-per-view, or were they sort of doomed to never have a good match? Because they had that AEW match they had was a classic. So who knows?
Yeah, it's missed opportunity for them not to. Oh, people are still chanting for Daniel Bryan too, which is hilarious.
God, at least have him go. Like it just looking back and seeing how knowing with 8 years of context how they treated Roman in between, it just really feels like Vince or someone, probably Vince, decided like we got to get Bryan out of there before Roman gets in there. because we'll get Bryan in there, we'll let him get his shit in, we'll yank his ass, and then everyone will focus entirely on Roman, and which is just so stupid. Like at least down the line they let Bryan get his shine a little bit. Like they didn't totally neuter everybody around. Like they tried to make it Roman and. This was the period where it was just Roman or bust.
Pretty much. I mean, at this point, it's pretty decided that this is where we're going.
Yeah, and he's gonna be a face, and we're not even gonna. I think at this point, like you said, I don't think they weren't expecting him to even become a tweener yet, or like, it's just a tweener in terms of reaction. I think there was this idea that, like, of course, I think we'll talk about it when we get to the end, but I would argue that we sort of made this cool to be mean to Roman, and cool in quotes because it gets a little much at a certain point, but we were the innovators of booing Roman Reigns to a certain extent. You
know what though? WrestleMania 30 was kind of like giving into a petulant child, because like all the backlash of going the route of Batista and not doing Daniel Bryan, and then eventually they just like caved because like it just became so. I mean, listen to the reaction now. Like people are going nuts for Daniel Bryan even a year later. So back a year before it was like there was no other way around it, and they kept trying to spoon feed us something else, and they gave in. And it just felt like with the entirety of Roman's run, starting at this moment, honestly, it's like, oh, you're gonna spoon feed us? Like we're just gonna whine and moan until you change course, and then they just stopped doing it. Well, that's not true. Actually, WrestleMania that year they did change course and went with Seth anyway.
That's true, but that was also a little bit of like that was a somewhat. Like, who knows how much of that was in response and how much of it was just like a fun, let the heel get a win, like keep the feud going type thing. But you're right that they sort of didn't shove Roman down your throats at that point. They allowed us to have a fun, but it still made Roman look strong, which is good. I mean, that's what I think we all sort of were hoping for, anyways. Like Roman can look strong, he just doesn't have to. He just doesn't have to just mow through everybody. And this is just such a prime mowing through everybody day. Also, Adam Rose absolutely sucks. This is so stupid.
Oh God, I think I remember what happens here.
I think he gets bushwhackered, right? Oh no, it's
crowd surf Kofi. Yeah, this is the era of like Kofi Kingston's like crazy and wild.
Also, we didn't talk about this, but New Day's Titantron was the people, the choir sort of dancing. Was this still Power of Positivity New Day, or were they sort of transitioning into like cool New Day?
I can't tell if he's a heel or not here.
I think I bet they're in that phase where they're about to be. Like New Day, we come to know, but they're not
cool heels. Yeah.
But he did get because like that was. I think he's still a heel because that wasn't like the preening, super. It was a really short sort of celebration, and he's out already. So obviously not Kofi. The years to follow, I think, are real big Kofi years in the Rumby.
Right.
Which is great. We love Kofi.
Oh, totally. Just it's hard to pinpoint. It's funny because like in the Royal Rumbles, like if you revisit them, it's like it's such a snapshot in that guy's year or girl's year.
Because you got to go. Okay, this happened, and then that built. You can maybe get a sense of what happened at Mania, and then you sort of got kind of the dots to SummerSlam, and like it's you're like I think they were doing this.
Yeah.
But
you get breadcrumbs, but it's like
largely it does not matter, and probably didn't. They probably didn't do shit.
No, but they do continue some continuity with like rivalries and stuff. Here we go.
Oh, the big dog gets to keep the Shield theme.
And come into the crowd because
oh my god, because they just had no. God, also thank fucking God his tights now are just like his whole look is fucking fantastic. Like it's just thank God that during COVID Roman or whoever finally realized. Like, let's not do this anymore. Like, what a wonderful transition that's been,
Yeah. I mean, it's... Wow.
Like, who doesn't like Roman in 2023? Like, you would have to be insane not to like Roman anymore.
Oh, yeah.
He's the best. He's deserves every single thing he's got. And it sort of retcons all this, too, where I'm like, come on, don't be mean to Roman. He's great. He's the tribal chief.
It makes all of this really feel... like relevant in hindsight almost, where it's like it took had they turned him earlier, it wouldn't have been as impactful as they waited and kept doing it and teasing it.
Let's not give them too much credit, like it was planned that way or anything, but it did work out really well in their favor.
Yeah.
But yeah, now and it makes it seem like now that he's the biggest heel and the biggest bully and the biggest badass, it's like, yeah, of course, because you all treated me like shit for 8 years or 6 years or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So like, fuck you. I'm gonna be a huge asshole because you made me seem like I was an asshole. So why would I not just live it? Why wouldn't I win all the time? Like, should I not celebrate that? Should I not make everybody work for me? Like, it makes so much sense. I hear that. Here's another. Oh, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Look how big his pecs are. Oh my god.
He's very big. Yes. When are we gonna get him back? Is he gonna return to this year's Rumble?
I don't know. I mean, that would be great. Is he healthy? Do we have any idea?
I can't remember how long ago he got hurt.
He literally
March,
he was almost paralyzed as far as I know. So
right.
I hope he's coming back. It's a shame. He's another guy who got, his title run got cut way too short. That was really cool. And now it's like it never. That barely happens. I had to think, like, I had to check myself in my head. Like, Big E won the title, right?
Think if he didn't win the title and then came back from this neck injury, he would be like he'd be the most over guy.
Yeah, they'd have to give him. I mean, hopefully they'll give it to him anyway. But I mean, if he were the one who toppled Roman, that would be cool as hell. I don't think we've talked about that, or with at least you and I or other people have talked about that back in the day. Like, that he'd be a really cool babyface to eventually do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I agree, and I think it still could be a thing that happens. But like, I think they kind of blew their load because didn't they have a match at Survivor Series when he was champion?
Yes, I think they might have. That might have been the SmackDown Raw, like,
back when they used to do that
right?
thing. Remember that conceit?
The fake bragging rights or the bragging rights? Yeah, where you won the chance to say you did it.
Yeah.
You got an Attaboy award. Like, I don't really remember what the outcome was or the reasoning behind it was.
Let's go ahead and phrase it. Oh, Mizdow.
Oh, there he is. Oh, this must have been fun.
I have something to say about Mizdow. I loved it, but like, that's not what a stunt double does. They don't mimic the star. They take the place of the star.
Yeah.
This is the most stunt double thing they've ever done with Mizdow. Where he takes the place of Miz in the Rumble.
Yes. I mean, whatever. It was. Oh well, he didn't even get.
Sorry, I had to get off my chest.
No, I mean, you're right. It's extremely true. But see, look, that they're playing to the crowd here. They know everyone likes Mizdow.
They were cheering for him 30 minutes ago.
I will say at this point, what number is Mizdow? Do you remember? 21?
22?
21, 22, something like that. At this point, this is still a relative. Like, we're still wishing Bryan was there, but I don't think anybody's like despising this at this point,
Yeah.
I think it's been pretty fun. You had some special guests. Like, people were pumped for Mizdow. Like, I think this is still pretty enjoyable here. It's just what happens in the next 30 minutes that drives people insane.
Yeah. This is not... See, this is what I'm saying. That's not a stunt double. They don't just...
It's fun, though. I'm still enjoying it.
It's fun. It's fun.
I mean, I can't talk objectively. I still own a Damian Sandow T-shirt. So.
Sandow or Mizdow?
A Sandow, the one where it's like him from like the ape evolving into Damian Sandow. Do you remember that?
Yeah, kind of.
I still have that. I refuse to throw it away because I'm like, I can't get rid of it. Oh, it's your favorite. Is this theme song? I can't hear it. Is it the what's it called theme? Yeah, it's We the People. Okay. Wow. That's a pretty good theme, though. I do like that.
Yeah. God.
There he is. Jack Swagger. Amazing this guy is still...
It's weird.
Like, still a very, main event-y pro wrestler in 2023.
Yeah. He's carved himself a nice niche, though, at AEW, where it's like, he's Jericho's guy.
He has, like, 2 matches a year, I feel like, that aren't tags or, or stable matches.
Yeah. But people still, like him enough. Like, I don't hate Jack Swagger. I never hated Jack Swagger. They just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I mean he's got a great life too. Like I bet he makes pretty good money to do very little wrestling. Like that's really the dream of a pro wrestler.
Yeah, and he's still is dabbling in MMA, I believe.
Yeah,
I actually don't know.
He just does stuff. I feel like I think he sort of does. I think he's It's just yeah. It seems like it's he doesn't really. All he does is stand around and look tall. Cause it's which is AEW's perfect for him because he is really tall. But in WWE, he's not that much taller than everybody else. In AEW, he's like Billy. Him and Billy Gunn are the only two giants they have.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus, Billy Gunn, and Jake Hager.
Billy Gunn towers over all these people, by the way.
Billy Gunn is the biggest of everybody. Luchasaurus is probably smaller than Billy Gunn. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what number we're at. Oh, the big guy. Well, you love Skip Sheffield, don't you?
Well, now he won his very coveted or very litigious battle to get this name, so we might be seeing Ryback.
Is he back to he re-earned the? I didn't follow this. Was this on? He sued WWE.
I think he was trying to get his trademark for Ryback.
He looks like he just bossed the shit out of that Bray. It looks like he hurt Bray.
Oh, he almost
clothesline. Oh, and he almost broke Biggie's neck again. Ryback is so bad. Like Ryback is the worst. Like his look is obviously it's been said to death, but it's RVD tights and Goldberg and super roided up and just his moves look so unsafe. Like he's just such a mess.
This did kind of work though.
For like a second.
Until CM Punk just buried him. Like, he almost killed me.
That was
twice.
Wasn't that the feud when Punk was champ? It was Punk Ryback for a while.
Yep.
That's like Jesus. Like what a dark era. Like whenever people shit on ratings now and anything about this era, like it doesn't get much worse than CM Punk Ryback main eventing months worth of shows.
Yeah, and then finding ways to screw Ryback out of it every time.
Yeah, and I guess people probably did broadly want Ryback to win, but I don't think anybody really. Ryback had no sticking power whatsoever.
Well, we got a CM Punk chant here.
Wow. So Punk is gone at this point, right?
He left last. So if you remember last Royal Rumble, he gets eliminated by Kane to set up a Punk Kane match that everybody was asking for.
Was that the Rumble where he had poop stains on his butt?
Yes. I guess
speaking of your best friend, well.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Corporate Kane.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah, no hint of red.
Yeah.
On that man's attire.
And like we're still supposed to I know it's Kane and like thoughts on Kane as a wrestler. Like I'm really done with him at this point, but just giving us nothing to work with in terms of look, it just really is not helping. Like.
Yeah.
It's really like I get that he is called Kane and that when he wore the stuff he used to be Kane, but I can't. What are we supposed to do with this guy?
I don't know, but it's like, think of like all the Undertaker's different looks over the years, and think of Kane's different looks over the years.
It does make you appreciate Taker a lot more.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, things are starting to they're not bad yet. Again, there's a good mix of people in here. There's Rusev, there's Bray, there's Big E. Like, there's people we all still like. But Kane, and I believe another person comes out soon, another large program that is going to really cause us all to get nervous.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of hosses in the ring right now.
There are. Everybody's pretty large. Is there, who's the smallest person in the ring right here? Rusev height-wise.
Is it Rusev? Maybe. I thought Big E's shorter.
That's true. They're both them. They're the only two. And then Bray's a little short, but everyone else is 6'3", 300 pounds probably.
Oh, he's okay. You're right.
Oh, there he is. Vroom, vroom. It's John Moxley with his wet hair.
What a difference 8 years makes.
Another guy who looks 1,000 times cooler as a balding guy with a beard. Didn't realize that was going to be such an upgrade for him, but oh my god. Oh, here's his little baby clothesline. God. He's crazy. He likes wrestling.
Oh god.
I mean, I love Dean Ambrose, but it just knowing. Oh, there's his little stretchy pants.
Are they stretchy? They look like jeans.
Oh, they might just be jeans too.
I think they're just jeans.
Someone's got stretchy jeans. I feel like somebody. Maybe
I thought it was Orange Cassidy, right?
Yeah, I mean he definitely does. You're right. I thought Ambrose might have had him too, but not. Those do look like pretty normal. Again, I don't understand how you.
I mean, there's belt. He's wearing a belt, so.
Yeah, I don't understand how you wrestle in that.
Why would you ever wrestle with a?
They look tight belt? Too, because they're not he's not gonna wear baggy ones, but how do you move in tight jeans?
I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised they don't rip half the time.
Yeah, it does seem like it would be trouble. Yeah, there's a lot. See, look, we're still. This is. I will say we went into this doing this episode thinking like, oh, we're gonna watch the worst Rumble ever. So far, really not. There's been a dozen worse ones at this point.
I mean, we toyed with the idea of going 95 Rumble, and that truly was.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be the people coming in. We'd be like, who? The blue Jacob Eli? Like, it's just the scrubbiest list of guys. Oh, it's Titus.
Titus World. It's okay. So. The millions of dollars chant.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What were they called again? Titus
the
and
Primetime Players.
Thank you.
Millions of
we
dollars.
were on TV.
When we used to live in DC together, we would. That was a big chant back then.
Oh, definitely. And there he goes.
He gets pushback. No, he doesn't because he messed up the spot probably.
Yeah. God, that guy. Too bad.
Titus.
Great look.
I mean, I'm glad he's hopefully made a very healthy. Another I understand the wrestlers want to wrestle and you want to be the champ and you want to be a big deal, but I would much rather do that.
Also, why'd the faces eliminate him? Was he a heel back then?
Maybe him and Slater were together at this point. I don't. He might just be a space filler, a seat filler.
Yeah, that's
true. He might have no gimmick whatsoever.
I don't. We very recently I was at a sporting event because. About 7 or 8 years ago, we were on TV at a Maryland basketball game. Me and my friend Ben doing the millions of dollars chant. We're like, we timed. We're like, if the camera catches us for a second, we just start doing it. And for some reason, I'm like, in 8 years, I'm like, what do we do if we're on camera? Like, we have to have something ready. It's like, I guess Primetime Players again. It's like there's no better thing since 8 years. I guess.
Wait, you guys got on TV? You guys got on TV pretty recently, though, didn't you? For like a second?
It wasn't like the dance cam though. It was like during a play, so we looked like we were like actually watching the game. Which
you were looking at your phone, looking at your NFL picks, though. Right?
Well, sure, yeah. Well,
you're about to make a bunch of money.
Else I was actually watching the game.
Oh, here's bad news. Is he bad news at this point, or is he? Oh, he is bad news.
I think so.
That's a cool cape thing.
Yeah.
I don't really get how that plays into being bad news Barrett, but.
Oh, White IC title, too.
Oh, love the White IC title. Oh, it's disrespectful. He threw it on the ground.
Well, he's not going to bring it in the ring.
I know, but it's
just
it's still weird to throw your belt on the ground. Should lay it down with respect. So, I bet the old school guys were pissed about that. Do you think Pedro Morales ever threw the belt on the ground?
Probably not, but those people really cared. Sorry, I'm getting slack bombed for her thing.
No, you better get ready though. There's some good stuff coming.
Hey guys, give me 5 minutes. I need to see this crappy Royal Rumble.
I need to watch Roman get booed real soon. But again, at this point, still, again, my memory is people knew where this was going at this point, and there was a little bit of uprising sort of foaming, but still just watching the show. Like I think like you said, I think at worst we were looking at these cast of characters and saying, okay,
there's still hope.
Roman 95%, but Dean 2%, Bray 2%, and then maybe we'll get a surprise at the end.
Well, yeah, there was still a chance because we had 2 or 3 spots left, right?
Yeah, and we're getting close to the end. I mean, they're realistically looking at it now. Who else were they going to throw out there? Like, I guess you still thought maybe Cena or Seth might. You thought maybe someone could come from out of nowhere, but the pickings are getting pretty slim, just roster-wise.
Oh boy.
Oh well, I mean, love it now, but. This guy was not winning Cesaro was not winning the Royal Rumble in 2015. Looks great though. Looks like $1 million.
I mean, could Hulk Hogan say his name right? Was the biggest question we asked about Cesaro.
Also, one of the weirder things that ever happened in a real quiet way. Hulk Hogan acknowledging Cesaro in the ring is very strange.
Yeah, in a weird.
The winner is Cesaro, brother.
Apathetic way.
Yeah, does not even know how to say. Well, does not want to say Cesaro, but probably is sort of unsure about how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are all good. There are 8 very good wrestlers in here that I like. Maybe 7.
Yeah, I mean this is a pretty good for the 2010s. These are some of the best wrestlers of the last
15 years.
And Kane.
And Kane. Well, Kane is fully. Kane and Ryback are just trash. Yeah. I don't know if I had to choose between one of them to win this match. I really don't know which one I'd pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Swagger one of the best wrestlers in the last 10 years. But
a few of them are. There's a few scrubs and or
you get points for being an AEW pioneer though.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's stuck around way longer than he should have.
All right, so also keep notes on when Rusev goes under the top rope.
Yes, that if you listeners with good memories will recall that was the saving grace moment for us too. That's when we all got back. Let's not underrate how obviously we were very drunk at this point on all you can drink. I think the whole crowd was probably pretty tuned up here.
Right. Oh boy.
Oh, the Big Show.
Yeah. Beginning of the end now for this Royal Rumble.
No more BS. It's Paul White.
Oh God.
So look, everyone's like, do we still need to? I hate this. We're doing this in 2015 even. Like, I know he's really big, but they've been doing fat guy too fat gimmicks for 25 years at this point.
I'm surprised that he had that much respect back at that point, but I guess he did.
So he's corporate Big Show right now, right?
Yeah.
So he's working for Triple H?
I guess.
Is that because of what was the logic there?
Well, I thought it was because
Kane is working for him, and the Outlaws. Do you think the Outlaws? Obviously, we're lucky enough not to watch. Are they the corporate Outlaws or are they the normal Outlaws? Because at Mania 30 they were the corporate Outlaws, and they got squashed by the Shield. But I think at this point they were just the normal Outlaws again.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, the first. Okay, now this is good. Now it's like, okay, Big Show and Kane just threw Ryback out. Good.
Well, we hate Ryback. Swagger.
Okay, and I think now the crowd is starting to realize what we're seeing.
Yeah. Oh wait, these two are just out hossing everybody.
Yeah, and they are admittedly the biggest hosses, but they are the oldest and the least liked. Oh, there he goes. There goes Rusev.
Yep. Making note at the 2 hour, 24 minute, 45 second mark. I don't know why I'm doing that.
In case you need to resync at home, that's where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now it's starting to really, the whiff is, it's not as, but there's not many guys left even. All of a sudden the ring emptied out. And you're like, okay, Cesaro's not winning. Bad News Barrett's not winning.
This is why everybody went nuts for Ziggler, because he was the last hope.
Yes. And in 2015, there was still, you never knew. He had that Sting moment relatively recently, right?
Yeah, was that at Survivor Series the year before?
Was that? It might have been.
It's 3 months ago.
Yeah, so this is the last, arguably the last main event-y period in Ziggler's career. I know he got I know he had SmackDown title matches and all that, but this is where there was a chance that he was going to become the guy.
Yeah.
And later on, it was okay, he might become one of the 10 guys, but
SmackDown. I thought there was only one title back then.
No, but I'm saying in the years to come. He feuded with Ziggler. I'm saying he had title matches after this. It wasn't he never had a title match again, but it was all it was okay, you're fighting for one of the two titles. You're a guy on a roster.
What's the B title? Oh,
yeah.
Ziggler.
It was Ziggler and AJ and Ian Ambrose having pretty good matches, but it wasn't Ziggler was going to be a top 2 guy in the company anymore.
No.
But here I think we still thought it might have been he's like Shawn Michaels. He's oh man, if only he does this and this and this, or they give him this chance, and then just
It's you're no Shawn Michaels.
No, you sure.
As much as I say this as much as I liked Ziggler back then, and as much as I love Shawn Michaels, it's just not the same.
It was even now that we're again a few years later, it's it's a joke that we even thought he was. Just because he was small and had blonde hair, and did kicks,
and he sells well, well, you're supposed to sell well. You're a pro wrestler.
Yeah, and you're a little guy. If you don't sell well, what are you here for? You got to bounce around.
You're
That's
not a hoss.
job.
Yeah. You can't be selling like Kane.
Okay, so let's reassess here. So there's 6 guys in the ring. Obviously, there's 7 left. Okay, is this it for Ziggler already?
It might be.
See, why didn't they let him let Ziggler stay in the whole time, because he can bounce around with these big guys. Is he going to get the stupid... Yep. He did the jump to nowhere, the famous move.
Yeah. The WMD. Was that what they called the punch? The WMD?
I believe that is correct, yes.
Or they called the knockout?
I think WMD was the name of it at some point. That sounds right.
Okay.
Okay, so now
Oh
I
my
think
God.
we're all
This
very
is-
aware of what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
we are just like, oh my God, like they're throwing out the only, surprise remaining guy.
We wouldn't have even been happy with Bray at this point. Like,
Yeah, I think, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that punch was also terrible.
Yeah.
That was the worst punch I've ever seen. And literally, and now it's not even that they just have wrestling moves. It's like they pick them up and throw them out like they're a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
Like, at least wrestle. Like, this is the problem with these giant oafs. They can't do like moves. Like, they're just being henchmen.
Right.
Ugh. God, this is getting me mad. Now I'm remembering how much I hate this.
Yeah. This is not the best, most booked.
Because and now like, you're like, okay, maybe something cool with Ambrose, but it's very likely that Roman beats the odds,
Yeah, I mean, the writing was on the wall at this point.
Yeah, we all knew Roman was going to win. I'm sure the odds were like minus 1,000. Like, it just was, he was the going away favorite. But for a while there, you could squint, and now you can't even squint because it's becoming so blueprinted.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear people booing before it even ends.
Oh, are people booing already?
Yeah.
Okay, so the crowd looks pissed.
Have you not been watching this with the sound on like very, very, very low?
The sound's on so low that I can't even hear it over me and you talking.
That's fair. Okay. I'll talk quieter so you can hear.
I like trying to glean people's emotions from their faces, and they do not look happy. Probably because the people in the front row paid $1,000 and they don't even get free tankards of wine. So
I don't know how they would pay $1,000. We only paid $150 for like this very exclusive experience.
Up. Oh no, Kane came just not even out of nowhere, just like looped around. All right, well, I think this is it for Dean. God, it's just such a boring ending. Like, maybe, I guess I could see on paper how this is an idea, but like, man, just like, there's just nothing going on. It's just so much. At this point in the Rumble, the joy of, previous Rumbles that are like this is it gets to the end and it becomes like, we all remember Michael's Taker, but even like, I feel like there was a Jericho Sheamus ending at one point one year where like, they had like 2 or 3 minutes of just like fast-paced one-on-one, like, the whole point of this is there should be 2 guys and they should have like Roman and Shinsuke. Didn't they have a little match at that 1.2 for a second? Like that's that's like the whole conceit of the Rumble.
Or when it was Michaels and Taker when it was like 2009 I think or something like that. It's like they just put on a 10-minute match.
Yeah, that's the gold standard. Like, I mean, we can't ask for that every year. But it's just a lot. Like, this is another example. Don't reinvent the wheel. Like, just do the Rumble the right way every year. Like, just change the people, change the circumstances slightly, pick your template and go with it. Like, don't come up with something. This isn't new, I guess, but it's stupid. It's not. It's bucking trends for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this builds stakes and like gives Roman something to like overcome. But like,
I bet there's one of the ones that Hogan won in like '89 or '90. I bet like there's a very similar one like this where he fights like Earthquake and Akeem at the end, and just beats them up and wins. And the crowd probably was pissing their pants because it was 1989, and they're a bunch of 5-year-olds who don't know what the hell's going on. This is a bunch of 30-year-old assholes.
Yeah, right. Didn't they realize that in Philly it's all like 30 plus?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of old men.
The corporate best friends. Is Dean out? Did I miss that?
I think so,
Is this just Roman? Oh, God, they're fighting.
Oh, infighting, yeah.
Because they want to be the champion or something. I don't even... Like, what are they being corporate... Like, who are they being corporate for? Like, for H? Like, why? Like, does H want... Like in like kayfabe, does H want Kane to main event WrestleMania? Like why would he want? At least I used to like when Vince would say like with Austin, he'd be like, "Well, I hate you, but like I also get that you're good for business." Oh my God, look at this shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, this was pretty.
That was
lazy.
So manufactured. Oh Jesus Christ. Wow. The big dog. Oh my God, he overcame adversity.
And I love how it's like, the stunning conclusion, they come back in and beat him up. It's like, it's too late.
Which is like pretty logical. They're like, well, we can just go back in the ring. Like nothing is stopping us. Or just beating you up. We don't have to leave. But again, to what purpose does this serve? Like, why would Vince, Stephanie, whoever's their leader, why would they want this to happen? Because Roman's mean? Like, I don't really get it.
There was some narrative, I can't remember.
It's whatever it was, I bet it was very stupid.
Oh, see, everybody...
They're freaking out?
Well, everybody
said
we want Rusev. So everybody knows that Rusev is still
here
there.
He is. And the crowd goes nuts for Rock. Like, Rock gets an initial pop here for sure, because it's Rock. Like, everyone freaks out. And he's beating up his old enemies, Big Show.
Yeah.
Rock hates Big Show. Rock hates Kane most of all.
He's the people's champion, mostly because he's beating up Kane.
That's a great Rock shirt, though. I do kind of like that shirt.
Yeah, it is.
I don't love it. I'm not a Rock shirt guy, but that's a good shirt.
Yeah, what do his shirts look like now?
I don't know. Let's ask Chris Holcomb what his shirts look like now. I truly have no idea. Okay, so the crowd's still cheering, right?
Yes.
Or is it sort of dying down at this point? Because everyone's like, the initial rush is over.
I think they realize.
Big fucking heel move by Rock. Okay, so, like, Rock did it. Everyone's like, yay, Rock. But then everyone's also like, now it's just Big Dog again. And now everyone's booing again, right?
Yep. People are definitely booing. Everyone realizes.
I like how Rock knew to leave, too. Like, he's like, you have more work to do. I'm going to duck out for 30 seconds or so. And this is the word. Like, this is the icing on the cake, too, is they, like, gave us another Roman stands tall again moment. And the crowd is just, like, so done with it. I'm going to turn it up now so I can hear the
iconic.
Man, poor guy. Like, again, now that I like him, like, this must have sucked so much ass.
I mean, we were there.
Especially your first big, like, this was, he must have not even understood what was going on.
You meant for Roman.
Huh?
You meant for Roman. I think you meant for us.
Oh, no, I mean, for us, it was fun to be pissed off. Yes. But, like, Roman must have been so confused. Like, what's going on? Like, Jesus. Like, and Rock comes in, and Rock is so confused. And I remember Rock coming out. There's an interview after. We're not going to watch it, but go on if you can find it on the internet somewhere. Rock gives like a post Rumble interview, and he seems so shook.
Really?
Like he does not know what to say. He's so confused because right now this was my Twitter background photo for a while. Because Rock, look at Rock's face. He's like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
He's like, "What? I'm getting booed." Like Rock hasn't been booed, and here comes. God, H in his ugliest H face.
Why? Because he
just looks with a little bit of hair. He looks so bad. Like he's got to shave that head entirely.
That's true. I guess.
The really short hair and the really small beard is not a good combo.
Here we go. Iconic moment.
Yep.
For the wrong reasons.
Yep. God, yeah. Everyone is so like a little off their game. I feel like everyone's very confused about what to do.
One thing I forgot to mention is us going nuts when Rusev comes back and everyone looking at us because we're the ones in the hammer and sickle shirt for the last 4 hours.
And we somehow foresaw the final spot and got excited for it. Man. What a weird Rumble. Like, and that's it. That sets up the next 5-ish years of WWE, right? Like, then it becomes... Yeah. Roman all the time, like the crowd doesn't really want it, like, and even when they do, sometimes they feel like they don't. They know the cool thing to do is to boo. Like it just establishes Roman Reigns for better or worse. Largely for worse for a while there.
Definitely for worse, but luckily we've righted the ship.
Yeah, it worked out great, and like you said, it really is amazing. Where we are right now. Like, it's perfect. It's where it needs to be. It's where it should have been, in theory, a long time ago. But it's, like you said, the fact that it took them this long to get there, though it was annoying for a while, it serves to reinforce that, it makes it seem all that sweeter now. It makes the storyline make that much more sense, and it worked out great for everybody. But, whew, what a horrible ending to overall Rumble.
Well, we tried.
We did
thought
try.
we couldn't pass this up though. Like an opportunity to go to the Rumble for all you can eat, all you can drink.
Oh, I would go to any Royal Rumble. I wouldn't go to any. I was gonna say any wrestling event. That's not true. I would never go to a in your house for $150 just because. But a Rumble is just the reason we wanted to do this is the Rumble is so fun. Like I love the Rumble. I watch it every year. I love watching it with friends, betting on it. Like it's even the bad ones are. It's just such a tailor-made event for a good time, and it was great to be here. Like it just happens to be that that Rumble is a little better watching it than I remember, but just the card overall, like it's a shame that we ended up going to one of the worst Rumble cards of all time.
It is a shame, but it wasn't revisiting it wasn't like it's not like a bottom 5 Rumble.
No, absolutely not. It's fine. It's a mediocre to decent Rumble that ends horrifically. That it just grinds to a halt with 6 minutes left, and it's just a total mess. But what are you gonna do? That's fine. That's the Rumbles are often hit or miss. Like it's also one of those events. As much as I enjoy it, if you went through and watched them all one by one, you'd probably be like, this isn't really that good. But the conceit and the template and the idea are as enjoyable as anything. Like there's the really transcendent ones stand out, and the rest of them are kind of bad. But it's just an exciting experience almost all the time. It's exciting to like anticipate it and get pumped for it.
Also, we all got together, so
we did. It was great. And the 2023 Royal Rumble is in, when this comes out, week and a half, I believe. So we'll be watching that, Walt, and you should all watch it too. If you have Peacock, if you watch this, you might as well watch that. There's a Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight match on the card. So obviously WWE is doing great and booking itself like a dream.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see how much mutiny happens between now and then.
That's true. You may be hearing from us in between with an emergency episode should something truly insane happens. But if you don't, that means it's relatively smooth sailing, and enjoy the Royal Rumble. And thank you for listening to this one with us. If you want to listen to more episodes of Awesome Truth, you can find our archives at awesometruth.libsyn.com. You can subscribe to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Everywhere podcasts are delivered, we are there. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AwesomeTruthPod. Well, great to watch a Rumble with you. Long one, but a good one. A great little trip down memory lane, and to remember all the. You can probably taste the wine, the Merlot on your lips, can you?
Oh God, I can also taste the puke that happened.
I wasn't gonna say it out loud. Our listeners probably could have surmised that the night did not end well for you. Beyond Roman winning the way he won, other parts didn't end well either. Oh well, thank you all so much for listening, everyone, and remember, the truth will set you free.